What's up, guys? This is Brett here from brettdev.com, coming at you once again from Chiang Mai in Thailand. And today I wanted to address something that I feel like is very important for any online worker, digital nomad that's coming to Thailand or is bootstrapping a business anywhere else in the world for that matter. And I want to discuss why most digital nomads fail. So the failure rate of digital nomads is incredibly high. There's so many people that come to Chiang Mai or like leave their home countries to move somewhere cheaper to try and bootstrap a business and ultimately fail, spend all of their savings and have to go home after a 6 month period and go back to their normal 9 to 5. Like I say, most people, that happens to most people, the vast majority of people. And hopefully I can shed some kind of insight and tell you why I think that is, based on the kind of interactions I have, especially with like a lot of the people from YouTube. Yeah, because I get like tons and tons of messages, like probably like 5 or 6 a day. Yeah, like people all with the same story, all trying to do the same thing. So and also I have a lot of experience from dealing with people that I actually hear and people that I actually meet in person. So I get to see what everybody's doing. I meet different people every day, at least one person a day probably, that tells me about what they're trying to do online, right? So what I think is the reason that most digital nomads fail, and in trying to compare them to people who are successful, was a couple of reasons. The first one being they try to do too much because they don't really know what they want to do or what they're doing, okay? And that kind of ties in with the second one, which I call like shiny object syndrome, okay? So the number of people that send me messages that sound like this is just ridiculous, and what they're saying is ridiculous. So many people say to me things like, "Oh, Brett, I was wondering if I can get some advice. I'm gonna come to Thailand to work online. I'm learning coding right now, and I'm also doing an FBA store. But when I get there, I'm gonna start a drop shipping store, and I might build an app." And I'm like, "Holy fucking shit, man! Like, that's impossible." Like, but again, shiny object syndrome. So what these people are thinking is they're like sitting on YouTube, browsing through the channels, looking at my channel, looking at somebody else's channel. One guy's saying, "Oh, you need to do dropshipping, you're going to be a gazillionaire," and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm a millionaire from FBA." And these guys just, if you're like just want to work online, you just want to travel, and you don't come from any of those backgrounds, yeah, like you're just not going to know what to do. So these people like, and I don't fault them really because they don't have any experience, but don't try and do everything, guys. That's impossible. And then what tends to happen is you try and do everything, you spread yourself really thin, and nothing gets done, and you just completely waste your time. Like, I made a video about this before, saying 3 things you should do if you don't know what to do. And my one of my final tips was like, just don't do anything. Like, you'd be better off just coming here for a holiday. Like, if you don't really know exactly what you want to do, one single thing, unless you're coming here and you're like, I understand the dropshipping model completely, I have 6 months money in the bank, and I'm going to go to Chiang Mai and I'm going to work my absolute bollocks off on this one single dropshipping store. Unless you're in that position, yeah, then don't do anything. Just have a holiday, because don't come here like in discovery mode when you only have that limited amount of time, because you're never going to learn what you need to learn, and you're never going to have enough time to dedicate to whatever it is you're doing. Okay, so really that is what I see to be like the biggest reason that people fail by far. Like, by far. If you want to learn to code, learn to code. What do you want to code? Do you want to code websites? Do you want to code games? What language do you want to learn? Learn one, yeah, and focus on one, and just do that all the time. Don't have a drop shipping store or an FBA store on the side. And just because somebody else is making good money doing something, it doesn't mean you have to do it. This is a huge problem, yeah? Like, somebody will I meet people that are making more money than me all the fucking time, doing all different shit. If I decided to do what other people do, I would be doing something different every single day. But the difference is, these people that are actually really successful, even they only focus on one thing. Yeah, so you might have somebody that makes money gambling online. He doesn't do anything except that. If he happens to be making more money than somebody that does FBA, good for him. But if he meets somebody that does FBA and makes more money than him, he's not going to stop gambling online to do FBA. Yeah, you cannot do that. You have to just decide what you like, what you enjoy, pick the one thing and just pursue it. Ultimately, you're going to make, if you just do that with one thing, you're going to make enough money to make a decent living. Yeah, you might make loads of money. You might only make 50 grand a year, whatever. But you're going to make enough money. So do not get sidetracked by like shiny object syndrome, which is, I just see it all the time. Just pick one thing. You're only one person. We have this tendency to believe we're capable of so much more than we are when you're not. You know, like, you're not Elon Musk. You can't run Tesla and SpaceX. Like, you might think you can, but you can't. Yeah. All you're going to do is set yourself up for failure, and I see it time and time and time again, over and over again. In fact, the people I know that make the most money probably do the least. They have a very, very, very simple business model. Some of them, like, just an example, this is not real life situation, but like, you meet somebody who just, like, you say, what do you do? And they'll say, oh, I sell snow shovels back in Canada. I just phone people up when it comes winter time and sell 200 of them, and I make my money. And it's literally like, it's those people with the most simplest ideas that make the most, not the guy that's trying to do an FBA store, a dropshipping store, all of this at the same fucking time. And this is a big part of the reason you won't really ever see me at any digital nomad meetups or events, because I don't need to go to an FBA meeting. I don't need to go to a Bitcoin meeting. I don't need to go to any of them, because I'm not running around pursuing the next shiny object. Basically, I know exactly what I want to do. I focus on my own little thing in my own little space, and that's it. And that's why I have been able to stay in Thailand for such a long time, because I don't get sidetracked. So hopefully that's an important lesson for you guys to learn. I keep getting messages from people telling me, oh, I'm coding, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Stop that bullshit. Like, really, just do one thing. And you should have a much higher chance of success if you do that. And if you're going to go to meetings that are, and you're going to go and hang out with like-minded people. Go to meetings that are focused around the one particular thing you are doing. If you are doing dropshipping, sure, go to dropshipping meetings, but don't go to FBA as well. Okay. So if you like the video, guys, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, this is Brett from brettdev.com, and we're out. Peace.